Champions, welcome to the Breakfast with Champions call. My name is James Zhang. It's an absolute honor to share with you today some nuggets that I know are going to change your business and change your life. If you don't know me, I've been a part of Partner Co since its beginning. I've been a part since with the drop since 13 years ago. I've been a professional in the network marketing space for those 13 years. I haven't had a job for 13 years. And it's an honor now. I mentor people to get to the top 1% all around the world. And I bring this up because even as I say that, it is crazy to think that that is even happening. Because if you were to meet me in the very beginning of my network marketing career, you would not have thought that this guy who is a broke, starving college student who is so shy and unskilled that I couldn't even order food at a restaurant would be able to succeed in a business like this. And in fact, that is my topic I want to talk about today, which is the topic of how to master any skill in anywhere, but specifically in your network marketing business, specifically in your Partner Co business. Who here knows that skills makes you money? The sharper your skills, the more it makes you money. I remember one of my first audios was Mr. Jim Rohn. Have you guys listened to Jim Rohn? If you haven't, I would encourage you. He has a great audio, How to Build Your Network Marketing Business. It's an hour, but it is gold. I've listened to that thousands of times. He is How to Challenge to Succeed. These are all great ones that changed my mind. But remember, he said that Jim Rohn, by the time he passed away, by the way, I think he was worth $300 million. But when he got started, he said the only skill he had was milking cows and it didn't pay very much. And then he became a legendary trainer, speaker, coach, and everything. So if you've ever felt that you just suck at this business, if you've ever felt like you don't know what to do, if you ever felt like people are just so good at social media, you're not, people are good at talking to people, you're not born that way. Well, today, champion, listen all the way through the end, because by the end of this, you will have certainty and clarity that you too can become a master and you too can become successful as well too. You just have to have the road to be able to go down there. All right. So let me share a quick story. It's funny because now people know me as a speaker, and it's always an honor, and I have so much gratitude when people come up to me and they're just like, James, oh my gosh, you're so good, man. You like spoke to me. How are you so good? You're a natural. I just got off of one of the biggest stages in the world. So much gratitude. The GoPro stage with Eric Ward. Many of you were there. And there's tens of thousands of people around the world. And I got messages afterwards after I gave my piece. And they were like, James, out of all the speakers, you're like the one that impacted me the most. And man, you're so good. And I look at this and I laugh. Because if you heard me in the very beginning, you would not want to hear from me. I'd say that in the beginning of my network marketing career, I was so bad at speaking. I'll just use that skill. By the way, who here would want to pick up your speaking skills? You'd want to get better at that. And this goes for any skill: social media, inviting, presenting, closing, training, any single skill. It's learnable. But I'm going to use the example of speaking. If you heard me in the very beginning, I said that it would be more fun if you were to talk to a brick wall than talk to me, because at least a brick wall will resound sound and back to you. I was so shy, I would be scared to pick up a phone that said no caller ID because it was a stranger. I remember the first times I tried to present, I would sweat. I'm one of those sweaters. And literally, I'd be drenched from head to toe. I'd have sweat stains in my armpit. I would sweat so much that sweat would dribble down my face and chin and hit the floor, and it would leave a puddle. I remember distinctly, there was one presentation that happened one time. We're at UC Berkeley campus. We're in a classroom. There's 50 people packed in the room. I was the front half speaker, and then I was second half speaker. After I got off the stage, the second half speaker looked to the ground at this puddle, and he made a joke. He said, I didn't know the sprinklers turned on because I see this puddle here. Why did I bring this up? Because every single person that you say or think is really good at something started at ground zero. So I want to share with you today a couple of simple steps to master any skill, specifically in your network marketing business, so that you too can one day have people come up to you and be like, man, you're so good. You're such a natural. No one is a natural. You ready for this? All right. So number one is this. Before you master any skill, you have to ask yourself and answer the question of why do you need to master the skill? Why? right? The saying is when the why is strong, the how becomes easy. Most people don't get masterful at anything because they haven't made a decision on what that skill is going to get them to. So I think about network marketing, which only has so many skills. Let's look at this as a profession versus being a medical doctor, like what I originally wanted to be. Doctors have to get trained, they have to go through skills, right? Hey, think about it. A doctor minimum needs to go through 4 years of undergrad, 4 years of medical school, maybe another two, 1 or 2 of residency. That's 10 years of training, of paid education, hundreds of thousands of dollars to pick up a skill that they can then turn into the marketplace and help people and then earn money. Do we look at our business like that too? So many times we look at our business, we're like 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks passes by. I'm not making any money. This isn't for me. Well, in anything, you have to master a skill. So I want us to really look at this as a profession. So here's the question to ask ourselves. Why should we master the skills in network marketing? Is it worth it? Well, you know what's so crazy is this is a business that if you master the skills, I look back now just to my personal story. If I went down the doctor route now, I'd still be in debt. I would still be tied to a job that'd be working 40, 60, 80 hours a week, high stress. Do you know doctors have one of the lowest life expectancies because it's so stressful? I'd be on call. I don't know if I'd be able to be present with baby Jaden. And yes, I get paid well, but I got taxed like crazy and I'm still paying off my debt. I probably have more white hair now than ever before. No freedom. You know what's crazy? In network marketing, now, after mastering the skills and building it over time, we are fortunate to get paid more than doctors get paid with tax benefits, with freedom. As I'm sharing with you with you now, I'm in pajamas on the bottom half of my body. I'm able to choose my hours and work from anywhere at any time. And when we talk about the impact of people and their health, instead of just one person at a time, and I love doctors, don't get me wrong, and medical professionals, doctors can only help one person at a time. Now we have an organization that literally impacts tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people every single year with our amazing body balancing drops, our amazing products. And we're helping people extend life. We're helping people to expand. We're helping people to have a better lifestyle. And just think, which lifestyle would you want? Would you want a doctor lifestyle or would you want a partner code network marketer lifestyle? The latter pays better. The latter has more impact. The latter is way more fun. So is it worth getting the skill? Absolutely. So you have to make the decision first that you will master the skills in your partner code business so that you can get the lifestyle that you want. It's a different mind state. It's not, I'm just here to play this casually. No, I'm going to get better. Let me use the analogy once again. Can you imagine you knew you wanted to be a medical doctor and you went to med school and the first week you had a test and you failed it? Would you that first week be like, you know what, doctor's not cut out for me. I just suck at this and I'm just gonna like do something else. No, doctors are committed. You're gonna do it until you get good. In your network marketing business, can you imagine you literally invested $200,000 into your partner code business? Would you quit after someone ghosts you? Would you quit after someone tells you no? Would you quit and if your paycheck wasn't as good as it wanted to? Would you quit if in 3 months you weren't like a chairperson 5,000? No. You would say, I'm committed to the process of getting better because I know that this is a skill. And once I learn the skills, then the skills will pay me the fortune. I hope that makes sense to you. So you have to make the decision on why. Number one, have you made the decision that network marketing will be your business vehicle? Have you made the decision that you're going to master the skills here so that you can control your paycheck? Let me give one more saying. Is if you master the skills, you can dictate what paycheck you want in your business. You can literally have the freedom to write your own paycheck. If you want 1,000 a week, you have the freedom to write that. If you want 1,000 a day, you have the freedom to write that. If you want 1,000 a month, whatever that you want. If you master the skills, you can actually write your own paycheck in what you want in your lifestyle. So why is it important? It's super important. Ask yourself that question. Answer that for yourself today. Now that you've determined why, number two is this. Number two is repetition. Skills get better with repetition. Think about anything in life. It's all the same. Think about something good. Some of you are good at cooking. Some of you are good at singing. Neither of those, by the way, neither am I good. I suck at both of this. All right. Some of you are good at some skill, but I want to ask you, were you good at that right away? Or did you have to have some repetition? Did you have to have some time? Did you have to have some failures? Here's the truth. Jot this down. Before we get legendary, you're going to start being sucky at a skill. You're going to suck for a while. When I first got into network marketing and I first tried to invite my first prospect, I needed a script. It took me an hour to finally pick up the phone and talk to somebody. And even when I did, I fumbled through that. And I remember I even got called out by reading a script one time because I was so scripted. I sucked. I sucked. You will too. And that's okay because it's a part of the process. So here's the process. You're going to suck for a while. And then after you suck for a while, guess what? You're going to get from suck to not good. You're going to get from suck to bad. This is the process, right? All right, you suck for a while, then you're just going to get bad. Then you go from bad to not good. And then you get from not good to mediocre. Then you get from mediocre to good, to great, to really good, to superb, and then eventually to legendary. You get so good, you can't get it wrong. I love looking at sports as an analogy. Maybe you guys follow basketball. There's an amazing shooter named Steph Curry. Shout out. I was in the Bay Area for 15 years, so I still have a little bit of pride. Steph Curry, if you ever watch, he is known as one of the best basketball shooters in the world. If you watch him, he can just not look and just flicks it, and boom, it goes into the net, swish, no problem from anywhere on the court at any time. It's like lightning speed. And you look at that, you're like, he is so good. Even if he tries to not get it in the basket, he is so good that he has to think about failing to actually miss. He will get it in the net more than he doesn't. Imagine you were that good with your partner co-business. Imagine you were so good at presenting, you just knew that when you talk to someone, they're going to get started. You just knew you were so good at training that when you work with someone, that they're going to launch their business and they're going to make money. You were so good. Now you knew that if you posted something on social media, it's going to get engagement and traction and everything. Don't settle with just good enough in your business. If you're going to play this game anyway, why not be legendary? Why not be a champion with your skill set? But the only way to get so good that you can't get it wrong is you need repetition. Here's a secret that I realized is if I am not good at a skill, then I need to be very intentional with a lot of repetition in a close period of time. I'll use an example personally. I wanted to become a better speaker. Let me tell you what I did to become a better speaker, and you too can if you really, really want to. I'll just use live video, for example. Lives are crazy for me. Does anyone else get scared about doing a live? That live thing comes on, you're looking into a camera, you're like, oh my gosh, how do I do that? You know what I did to get really good at live videos? For 30 days, I went live every single day, whether there was someone on or not. I did 10 to 15 minutes. I drafted out a couple of points to talk about. I had a topic, I had 3 points, and a call to action. And every day, just to get the repetition in, whether someone was looking or not, I would stare at the camera, I'd hit live, and I'd go through it over and over and over and over again. Not only would I do it, I would then review the tapes. Do you ever watch yourself, listen to yourself, review yourself? If you want to get legendary at something, you have to get so good that you can critique your own things. So then I would look at the playback. I would listen to the playback. And I'd put myself in the shoes of the most skeptical prospect, skeptical teammate, skeptical listener. And I think if I'm listening to the live that I just did, would I be engaged? Did the story hit? Did the points hit? Was I engaging enough? Was my facial expression there? Did you know, by the way, when I was learning facial expressions, it took me a year to learn how to move my face. I sucked for a long time, guys. But I knew I needed to master the skill because I knew what I wanted from this business and I was willing to put in the work. Are you willing to put in the work? Are you willing to suck for a little bit and get better at it? But let's speed up that suck time so you can get really, really good. So review the tapes, have some critique on it, make some tweaks, make something better. I said, all right, I notice that I say a lot. Instead of saying I'm going to just breathe. I notice that my hands are not expression enough. Let me try something with my hand gestures the next time. I notice that I need to have a story that impacts even better the next time. Let me try that the next time. I every time tweak and make it better, tweak and make it better, tweak and make it better through that repetition. Here's another pro tip though that most people are not willing to do if you want to get really good. See, repetition itself will get you better, but it won't get you masterful. Case in point, who here has seen someone that is at the gym, the same treadmill every single time, and yet they tend to look the same still? Have you noticed that? It's like they keep on doing the same thing over the course of time and their physique doesn't change. Why? Because just repetition, just doing something long enough does not guarantee mastery. Time isn't mastery, it's intentional time. Jot that down. Intentionality is everything. Here's what the pros do. Here's what champions do to get really, really good. They seek feedback. They seek feedback. Most of us, our ego is too high to seek feedback. I have an ego. I don't like hearing critique. I don't like people telling me what was wrong. But if you want to get to be a master, the best way to do it is go consult someone that's masterful at what you want to get good at. And just be like, all right, I tried this. I'm doing my practice. What do you think, coach? What do you think about this? I remember when I was getting good at speaking, I went to one of my speaking mentors. This woman was a paid professional speaker. This woman was traveling the world. This woman would get on and get charisma and could tell stories for days and was just incredible. And every time I'd have a speech where she would be there, I'd go up and be like, Deanna, like, what do you think about this? You should give me some pointers here and there. And I keep on making it an effort to go back. And I remember one day, guys, this will happen. You want to go to your mentor, you want to go to your coaches. And one day I went up, as I would always do. I'm like, all right, Deanna, we just finished an event. There was 200 people at this event. And I said, Deanna, so what did you think? You know what she said that day? She said, James, you are one of the best speakers that I've seen. You're a rock star. And I'm like, really? After years of sucking, I finally passed the test. But I needed that standard. You need a standard too. Don't think you're good enough. Let me, are you okay if I'm a little bit real with you? A little bit real with you. I want to be kind of a real coach with you. How do you know if your skills are not good enough? If you're not getting the results you're desiring when you do the skill, your skills aren't good enough. Case in point. Some people say, I'm really good at posting on social media. Are you getting engagement and conversion? Well, I'm really good at inviting people to take a look at the business. Are people actually coming and looking at it? I'm really good at selling the product. Are you getting sales? I'm really good at closing a business prospect. Are you getting enrollments? I'm really good at launching a team. Are your team duplicating? I'm really good at speaking and presenting. Are people converting? If the results are not happening, it means that you are not good enough yet. Jim Rohn shared this before in his audios. He said that when he was learning speaking, he would get off the stage and people come up to him. They'd be like, wow, Jim, you're such a good speaker. And he took that and said, oh, it feels so good. But he would share in his story, he'd say, but actually, I realized one day, if I am so good, why are people not buying? Oh. So champion, what's your definition of good? Your definition of good should not be I feel good. Your definition of good should be, am I getting results? Results are the name of the game. Are people moving? Is your team growing? Is your business growing? Are sales growing? If it's not, you're not getting good enough. We need to get better. I hope that makes sense. So getting repetition is a huge, huge key on it. All right. Last thing, how do you become a master at everything? The last part is immersion. Immersion. If you want to master a skill, you have to become obsessed. Talk to any great person that's done anything great. We'll go back to Steph Curry. Do you think in his spare time he was watching movies? Or do you think in his spare time he was watching the greats in basketball, reviewing the tapes? Do you think he was on the courts again, practicing? Don't you think if he had YouTube when he was practicing, he'd be looking at YouTube? I want to ask you this question. If I were to look at your YouTube list right now, if I were to look at what you're listening to right now, would it showcase to me that you are becoming a master in the area that you want to master in your business? Or would it be a bunch of movies? Nothing wrong about a movie. Would it be a bunch of pop radio songs? Would it be a bunch of cat videos? Would it be a bunch of things? What are you consistently watching and learning and listening to? That's why you're on this Breakfast of Champions call. The fact that you're on here already puts you ahead of the game. It shows to me that you want to become a champion in your business and in your life. Congratulations. But what about in the off time? Jim Rohn would say, turn your car into a mobile classroom. So one of the secrets that I did to master skills is in my off time, in my downtime. Les Brown says, if you don't maximize your downtime, you minimize your lifetime. Is I would immerse myself in podcasts, in audios, in anything that could get me better in that place that I want to master the skill in. I'm very intentional. I want to master it quickly. To do a little review today, it's okay to watch a movie, but not all the time. I want you to do a little assessment today with the ratio of what you are ingesting in your mind, in your ears, with your eyes, and everything. Would it be showcasing that you are a serious student in the skill set that you want to master? Or do you think we can make some adjustments on that? And if we do, make that adjustment today. Immerse yourself, become obsessed. And this is how. If you decide why you need to master the skill, if you decide to go through the repetition with feedback, and then if you decide to immerse yourself in that lane, this is how you can shortcut your learning curve. This is how now, if I have one gift that I've chiseled over time, it's the ability to learn and implement really fast. This is how I do it. And as you add on skill over skill over skill, you will walk out. You give it a month, 3 months, a year, 3 years, and you're going to realize you have so many skills up your sleeve. It's harder to not make money in this business than it is to make money in this business. Sister, brother, champion, you have realized that you too became a champion. And you will walk out with the absolute most of confidence. So, question. Will you commit yourself to becoming a champion today? Will you commit yourself to getting better today? If that's the case, take these steps today and master the next thing. What's next on the agenda? You can't master it all at the same time, but you can master it over time, one thing at a time. All right? So with that, remember every day, if you didn't catch this, by the way, you need to share this. Go to bocpodcast.com. All replays of this, plus all of our other amazing speakers are there. But in your partner co business, our system is as simple as 1, 2, 3. Every day, are you plugging into this and growing it? I hope you're glad that you made it today. Number 2, are you making your 2 posts in social media today? A personal post in the morning, a drops business post in the afternoon with the engagement sandwich, having conversations. And number 3, are you aiming to enroll these 3 people a week? 2 customers, 1 partner. Remember, if you do this over the course of time and you duplicate it, we have seen people get to $1,000 a month in the first month. We've seen people get to 6 figures even within 6 months. Some do it faster, some do it slower. But if you commit yourself to mastering this skill, I'm telling you, there is no better skill set than mastering your network marketing business, your partner co business. It's such a big fun that can design your lifestyle, that can give you the biggest impact and have the most flexibility and freedoms in your life. I hope you'll commit to another level of standards today. Other than that, I will toss it back to you. Have an incredible, incredible morning and feel free to meet the lines and have a great, great day.